Howdy everyone, Warsarcy here, and today we'll be looking at BROK the InvestiGator on Xbox Series X, also available on all previous gen systems as well as PS5 and PC. BROK the InvestiGator is an investigative point-and-click slash beat-em-up game where you play as two characters, BROK, a private detective and former boxer haunted by nightmares of his deceased wife, and Graf, a teen who lost his mother, BROK's wife, at a young age and is being taken care of by BROK, his stepfather. The story takes place in a future where animals have replaced humans. Starting with Chapter 2, you can switch between BROK and Graf at any time, each of them being one half of the story. BROK's side focuses mainly on gathering clues and doing detective work with the semi-frequent brawls thrown in there, while Graf's side of the story focuses on him trying to graduate so that he can become a drummer, and no, not the musician kind. Drummers are the higher class citizens that have permission to live in and enter the regular city under the dome, away from the harsh pollution of the current world, whereas everyone else is a slummer that has to live in poverty and general society doesn't care about. Each character will have many choices they can make, which will branch off into different outcomes that can not only affect other characters, but actually determine which ending you get, as this game offers 11 different endings. This is one of the few games where your choices actually make an impact, and you can often see the consequences almost immediately. The gameplay, of course, is a mixture of a point-and-click and a beat-em-up, where you can switch between adventure mode and brawling with just the press of a button, which will actually come in handy plenty of times, as this mode isn't just used to engage in fights, but is actually essential for exploration and puzzle solving, as it lets you jump and reach areas you otherwise wouldn't be able to get to, as well as often solve puzzles through brute force. The game offers multiple difficulty options, with the ability to skip fights if you want a more story-based, laid-back experience, though if you do struggle a little yet want to continue fighting, there's a training area where you can repeatedly visit to grind XP and money. Each character has their own training they can do, but only BROK will earn money through it. When you level up, you get to pick between increasing your health, strength, or special attack. Another thing regarding difficulty, you can find 3 ads in each room of the game, which can be redeemed towards a hint anytime you get stuck, be it not knowing where to go or struggling with a puzzle. At certain points in the game, you'll enter an interrogation where you'll be able to combine clues that you've discovered while playing in order to further progress the interrogation. Later interrogations get a bit tougher and also take a bit longer, but as with open gameplay, you can redeem ads for the answer. As for the playtime, it's said that it usually takes 15 to 20 hours for your first playthrough, which is accurate because it took me 16-ish hours to complete. I didn't aim for 100% completion, but I did go out of my way multiple times to make sure I got certain achievements. And once you finish the game, you can jump back chapters, which makes collecting things and aiming for different endings a lot easier. I really enjoyed this game. It's got a great story, an atmospheric soundtrack that at some points gave me 90s video game soundtrack vibes, which is actually great, as 80s/90s cartoon style is what the creator was going for. There's multiple interesting twists, plenty of lovable characters, and unlike a lot of other games where choice is just an illusion or the ending comes down to one thing or the other, your choices actually have impact on the story, not only throughout the game but actually determining which ending you get. And this doesn't just apply to the main objectives, as there are missable optional objectives you can complete that also contribute to it, as well as a bunch of extra optional minor things you can do that will net you some achievements. I almost forgot to mention that there's also a bunch of concept art and fan art included in the game that you can unlock. The game is also very accessible without sacrificing its integrity. You can play on easy and not have to deal with all the fights while having assists whenever you get stuck on a puzzle, or you can just go all in with the regular or harder difficulty and go at it without ever having to use any hints, and either way you won't feel like you're missing out on the experience of a great game with a great story. It also does a great job with both the investigative and the beat 'em up elements. Neither one of them feels like they're tacked on to the other, which is actually quite impressive because combining point and click with beat 'em up isn't exactly something commonly done. In the end, it's very clear that a lot of love and effort went into making this this game, and as such, I'm going to have to give this the WarSarcy stamp of recommendation. So if you want this game yourself, it's available on the Microsoft Store as well as all other platforms, respective digital markets, for $25, though at the time of this video, the Xbox version is on sale for $20. I'd like to thank COWCAT for sending me the review key. This is WarSarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.